Yes, sir. Couldn't wait to get in here and talk to you guys. I mean, stare at this camera. What's poppin', fam? How's everybody doing? How was your weekend? You got to have energy watching those fights at UFC 327. My God, this is why we love the sport. Your boy was in the DR, the Dominican Republic, doing some commentating with the great Jimmy Smith for Gamebred FC. That is Bare Knuckle MMA. I was in the DR. Never been in the DR. Good time. I wore a three-piece suit, and on my way to the venue, it was brought to my attention, which it was not before, that the event was outdoors in Dominican Republic. So your boy was a sweaty mess. You know what? I wasn't as bad as you would think. My feet were hot. When I took off my shoes in the hotel, my girl was like, "Oh my, your feet smell like a fucking dinosaur." Like it was not good. But other than that, your boy was just a little sweaty. Great night of fights. Anthony Smith looked absolutely amazing. There's a Russian guy on there, and he was 2-1. And in the pre-production meeting with Jimmy Smith and everybody, I go, 2-1 in this on the main card? And they go, "You don't know about this guy?" I'm like, "I don't know about this guy." They go, "Well, he's 2-1. He just got out of prison in Russia, and he had over 100 fights in the Russian prison." I went, "Oh, so he has a ton of experience." They go, "In fighting in prisons." And I went, "Okay, he's probably going to be pretty fucking tough." I'm like, "Yeah, before that, Sambo, Grandmaster and all that shit, because he's Russian, of course." So I go, "What did he go to prison for 20 years in Russia?" "Murder." And he was very undersized, fought a giant Dominican dude, a giant, and he knocked him straight the fuck out. And this Russian, he looked like he was annoyed there was lights and walkout music. Like he was just sitting there and just like, "What is this?" Like just pissed. And then beat the shit out of the guy.
He was just there to take his commissary. How old is this guy? Wait, he was in jail for 20 years. How old?
20 years. I don't know. He must have went in when he was in mid-20s. I assume he's like in his early 40s.
Oh, he's an older dude.
Yeah, he had like gray in his beard.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a good night of fights, though. Good night of fights. Shout out to DR. And then I came back on Saturday. Dude, I was counting down the minutes for UFC 327. I could not wait. I rushed back from the DR because my son had baseball games. Those got canceled due to the rain, which that's another discussion for another day, how soft Texas is when it comes to rain. They canceled his games. I'm like, okay, at least I got 327. I'm ordering myself a large pepperoni pizza with extra freaking sauce. This is going to be a great Saturday night. And that's not even doing this card justice. This is what happens when the UFC puts in effort, when the UFC gives you a card that especially for your hardcore, that you're accustomed to. This card was awesome. Awesome. Now, that being said, Dominic Reyes and Johnny Walker did their damnedest to steal the shine and screw the night up. Fellas. And then also in his post-fight commentary, Dominic Reyes goes, "I thought it was a strategic fight. I thought it was just two guys being very strategic." You liar. That thing fucking sucked, dude. That thing was dog piss. But I'm not going to make this about Dominic Reyes and Johnny Walker. Here's the thing and I'll get off this and then we'll get into the positive stuff. This is what drives me nuts about Dominic Reyes, Johnny Walker. You morons. The light heavyweight division is in shambles. The champ, Carlos Olberg, tore his ACL, so he's out for a while. We don't have a ton of contenders. If one of you fucks just decided to do what you're paid to do and get a legit win and go out and risk something, whoever would have won that fight probably would have been right in line to get a title shot. But now, I don't want to see either of them fight for a fucking hot second. I hope they discipline them. I hope they do what the UFC does and disciplines them. That shit was, nobody want to risk anything. So that shit was bullshit. You're like, oh my God. So, because you got Cub Swanson, Nate Landwehr. Nate, for a reason, just didn't want to pull the triggers. Just was like, I'm just going to stay on the outside and let him do his thing. Couldn't be a worse game plan against Cub Swanson. Cub Swanson's swan song. He's leaving. Last fight. Looks incredible. Lights him up. Great video package with WC, all the UFC stuff. Insane. And you're like, oh, this is great. Then you get Dominic Reyes, Johnny Walker. I'm like, God, you guys fucked it up. And then Josh Hokett comes out.
I think I see what's already going to happen here. Schaub is so going to try and move back to California. It just all makes sense now. So he went to the Dominican Republic to do commentary on some third-rate MMA thing. By the way, he went to go work on the weekend. He claims to have quit stand-up because he couldn't miss any of Panthers baseball games. Yeah. But, I mean, he's complaining about the weather in Texas now, but they're soft because it rained and they canceled it. Brendan Schaub claimed he was moving to Texas. One of the big reasons was the baseball there. It's the greatest baseball ever. Now he's like, baseball in Texas sucks. It's actually California is the best. This is what happened. And I'm pretty sure he's definitely moving back. The podcast with Callan is essentially over. He's switching over to a new Patreon where it's just going to be the Schaub show and all his stuff with Fake Landau here. They never got a new studio. That just didn't happen. He's staying in the storage unit. The barn thing just didn't happen. The second he's able to sell that house for less money than what he bought it, he's going right back to California. The Rogan thing didn't work out. The Callan thing didn't work out. There's essentially no reason for him to be in Texas. His number one podcast he does is with D'Elia and Griffin. And he already's complaining, and he's right, that it sucks even more on Zoom. He's hoping that this Gearheads Gone Wild thing takes off. He shoots that in California. If that takes off, by the way, it's because of 100% hate watching, which he's kind of banking on. But that wife has to be complaining. And they tried the Austin thing. It's not happening. He's going to try and go back. The only thing that might stop him is all the legal trouble he's in there. But he's Schaub. He's not going to care about that. But I can already tell he's talking shit about the baseball now. Remember, this was one of the main points he moved down there. Panther in Cincinnati, they had to get away from, pussy California and go to rough Texas to play baseball. But now he's already talking trash about Texas baseball. So I can tell Schaub is 100% already planning on going back to California. And so it's mainly just going to be him, but he's going to have Fake Landau guy going. He might just end up doing the Fighter and the Kid, like once a week, obligatory with Callan on Zoom. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. They never got a new. They were planning on doing the new studio. Remember the barn and everything? It never happened. Just never happened. Because I think the plans changed. But let me know your thoughts in the comments.